We are live. True Hill Heat, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Saturday, September 2nd, 2023. With breaking news. Breaking news here. The Romeo report. I don't know what number. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I only do these when we've got big, big, big news. And big news is that AEW All Elite Wrestling has fired CM Punk. I am the aforementioned Romeo Anthony Cologne, joined by the good brother from around the point, the pride of Detroit, Big Mike. What's up, Big Mike?
Man, this is my first time on one of these report shows, and it's just I guess it's a great time due to somebody's wrongdoings. CM Punk, man, what a crazy day! What a crazy day! And it got crazier.
Just one day before AEW's All Out pay-per-view in Chicago, and just 1 week after the biggest wrestling show of all time, All In. Let me read the statement from All Elite Wrestling and Tony Khan. This was released 49 minutes ago. All Elite Wrestling has terminated the wrestler and employment agreement between Phillip Brooks, CM Punk, and AEW with cause, effective immediately. The termination was confirmed today by Tony Khan, CEO, General Manager, and Head of Creative of AEW. The termination follows a week-long internal investigation of an incident occurring backstage at AEW All in London on Sunday, August 27. Following the investigation, the AEW Discipline Committee met and later convened with outside legal counsel before making a unanimous recommendation to Khan that CM Punk be terminated with cause. Khan offered the following statement. Phil played an important role within AEW, and I thank him for his contributions. The termination of his AEW contracts with cause is ultimately my decision and mine alone. Of course, I wish I didn't have to share this news, which may come as a disappointment to many of our fans. Nevertheless, I am making the decision in the best interest of the many amazing people who make AEW possible every week, our talent, staff, venue operators, and many others whose efforts are unsung but essential to bringing our fans great shows on television and in arenas and stadiums throughout the world. That's it. A couple of things I gained from that. They had a discipline committee. They met with outside legal counsel to see if they could even do this, because CM Punk could sue your ass.
Hmm.
And then Khan he takes all the blame. He says, ultimately, my decision. He is the yay or nay. So it is his decision. And
Hmm.
I gotta say, I think Tony Khan earned a lot of respect here, a lot of goodwill, not just with the wrestling fans. Some, the CM Punk fans are gonna be mad, obviously, but uh, especially for his locker room. I think locker room morale just shot through the roof backstage of how happy those people are. Forget about it. What do you say, Mike? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, from a businessman and boss standpoint, Tony Khan has gained a lot of respect for me because before he seemed like the guy that just wouldn't terminate anybody. He'd just let them sit, let them sit, let them sit, let the contract dwell out, give them all their money, and just be gone. I think the only person that he got rid of right away was early in the company, and that was Jimmy Havoc due to an incident. And it's been nothing like that since up until CM Punk. So, like you said before, morale is at all time high, probably now. You might have a few people that are upset, his friends that are still
FTR.
there.
Oh shit.
Exactly. But other than that, kudos from a boss standpoint. But I don't, he had no choice. But I feel like I'm leaning towards Phil's side of all of the madness.
Okay. Okay. Elaborate on that if you don't mind.
Well, I'm not saying like he's misunderstood or anything. He's a hard ass through and through, through and through. But I feel like he is the common denominator of all of these situations. But I feel like he isn't the instigator either. He's not the starter. He's the finisher. He closes these situations.
Go to sleep.
Like if you look at the elite situation, he didn't start that, but he finished it. The Jack Perry situation, he didn't start that. He finished the Adam Hangman Page. He didn't start that, but he finished it. Yeah, he's supposed to handle it a little bit more because he's the bigger star. He should be like the locker room leader. But
He takes pride in
nonetheless,
it. He loves being in the locker room.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Going back to his WWE days, he thought he was the locker room leader, but that's not the case. The Undertaker's still there. He's the locker room leader. But
I know RVD laughed at him once. Like, what?
yeah. So it. I still take his side because he never started any of these situations. He finished them, and when it was brought back up again, he finished them again ultimately. But he should have been a bigger person about it. But it is a two-way street to being a bigger person.
I honestly can't believe Tony Khan did it. I cannot. Wow.
Yeah, me neither.
It's like, he finally, like, he lived up to this shit.
I'm
right
serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Him.
Yeah.
That was him.
Mm-hmm.
And all of this, they're going to be in front of a Chicago crowd. Not forget tomorrow. Tonight they're going to be in front of a Chicago crowd. Collision. I forgot about that. That's live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Woo. Man, oh man. It's wild. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thumbs up this video if you haven't already. Comment. I see some super chats. We'll get to that. Always appreciated. And who we got here? I'm nervous. I see the spinning wheel. And I know who that is. There he is. Sober guy, JJ.
I see another shoulder.
What's
up?
Neon lights is Nobel Prize. When the hero sleeps, the leader dies. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be.
Is the city burning?
It probably will. What time is it? It is. It's not clobbering time, obviously.
Too soon.
It's 5:30 you guys' time, so probably in like another 3 hours, the United Center's probably gonna get burned to shit. This is crazy. Tony Khan.
You're going to Collision,
idiot.
right?
Shit, I definitely can't miss it now. I can't wait to see the crowd go crazy tonight. Tony Khan should have waited till Monday, but obviously from a business standpoint, I understand why he had to announce it because everybody's still kind of expecting Punk to show up tonight and tomorrow. But goddamn, and all the cities you do this in, and all the fucking cities you decide to fire CM Punk of all people, you do it in Chicago. I don't understand. I don't know.
I don't think he could still keep doing these media scrums and be like, I don't have any comment. It's still under investigation.
Nah, of course.
Like I think he's got to answer the media eventually.
But you don't get it. Yeah, right. But you don't get a medium. Oh, you're an asshole for wearing the CM Punk shirt, Romeo. By the way, but you don't get a. But you don't.
What the hell am I an asshole?
Because you know why you're wearing the shirt. No, you're not wearing it because you're a Punk fan. Anyway,
I am a Punk fan.
Yeah, all right. Punk rock. Anyway. You don't get another medium scrum till after All Out, which would obviously mean you don't get another medium scrum till after the last show for Chicago. This is bad. This is crazy. If you would have told me CM Punk would get fired from a second-rate company in AEW of all places, I'm like, yeah, okay. But he did. He quit. He quit at WWE and he gets fired at AEW. You can't make this up. Wow. We were literally sitting at StarCast and at the interview with Marty Jannetty, and then we see this. This is fucking
the interviewing
crazy.
Who?
Marty Jannetty.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. They're gonna hijack. They're gonna. The crowd is about to hijack these next two shows out here.
I was
It's
gonna bring
pretty
that up
crazy.
too. Are they
Yeah,
gonna be unbearable?
they are. It's fucking CM Punk country. This man could piss on a dog right now, and they still love him. This man just got fired. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad. So we'll see. Wow, holy shit! I'm still shocked. I didn't think Tony Khan had the balls to fire a guy like CM Punk. He had to do the right thing, so I do respect that in that aspect because I mean he's done enough, man. Like in this last year, mind you, Punk's only been back for 2 months and he's causing more harm than good. You can't have a guy like that on your roster when you're still trying to build a kind of reputation for the company. God, AEW's only 4 years in, and the last year ever since Brawl Out, you basically had a black eye on the. Oh, damn, fuck you, Josh. I won't say anything else.
I'm just like,
right?
God damn. I'm like, I've been here
I'm giving
waiting.
my thoughts. You want
I'm
to
just
talk?
like,
You want to talk about your boy Phil? Huh? That's what you want to do?
I mean, I'm not gonna defend. I'm not gonna defend him like John did earlier. If that's what you think.
No, to be fair, he has not defended him. He understands why.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
I haven't heard from him. Is he okay?
Hey, he's right here. John, good brother, Stack King's right
Okay,
here.
all right.
What's going on? He's good.
What's up?
He's
I was
good.
worried about
No.
you.
Just saying I don't have headphones. I didn't choose my other AirPod. Hold on. Shit. But you guys can talk since I'm talking so much. God damn it.
Finally. And I don't think you want Jaquan to talk after the shenanigans he was doing earlier in that stream.
I didn't do anything. All right.
Oh, you did a whole lot, pal. You did a whole lot.
I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
You did a whole lot.
John can hear you guys now.
No.
Josh.
I mean, I'm surprised that it happened now, but it's like at this point.
If he was gonna fire him Monday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
Sunday night.
No, I mean, not only that, but it's just, I think what it was too is, I agree with Romeo. I think something had to be said because, every time he's gonna go on, he gets an interview, they're gonna ask him. So it's getting to a point too when it comes to that. It's like you have to give a response. You got to do something. So I agree with Romeo when it comes to that. I don't think it would have made it either better, like even if you do it after, because that would have made them look bad. Because it's like, all right, why did you just wait a whole entire weekend just to announce something that you already decided? So either way, I don't think it wasn't gonna look good.
In the one sense, it's smart. I see the point you're saying, but at the other side, he's about to have 2 shows get fucking hijacked.
I mean, regardless, they're gonna hijack. They were gonna hijack regardless. Now,
but
is
no,
it?
No,
like now,
hijack. No, there's different.
No, I'm saying
hijack when you don't have the guy, but you know he's still part of the company, versus he's not. He's completely fired. It's a completely different kind of hijack.
I mean, it is what it is. It's just on a business aspect, he had to do it, regardless of what it is. I think he had to do something now. I don't think it's a situation where you constantly wait.
The reason why I can understand, another reason why I can understand doing it now is because if you fire him now and you get him to sign an NDA, from a legal perspective, you're protected, and it's harder for him to do something about it. But if he knows he's going to get fired and he hasn't signed an NDA, he can say whatever the fuck he wants before you make your announcement, and he's the one controlling the scenario.
Yeah, which I mean, you know more about that stuff. I don't, but I mean, I'm just saying. But I mean, it just got to a point that, like I said, Tony Khan needed to do something because I don't think there was any scenario where he comes back again. And it makes Tony look good. I think it was a situation where he got his second chance. He got his second chance and he blew it. No matter how we feel about it, no matter how the situation is, he got his second chance and he blew it.
It's a crazy situation to me, just in general, because whoever doesn't know, I am a labor and employment law attorney. So it's just like I'm reading that statement and I'm looking at it from like how I would have written it and how I've written these things. And I'm just like, oh fuck! Because the thing is, it's not just the fact that it's a wrestler agreement; it's also an employer agreement. So what? It's two separate contracts. So the wrestler agreement I can understand. The employer contract, I want to know what the fuck the role was that you were terminating that second contract. Like Hunter, back in the day, had two contracts. He had talent contract and he had executive contract. So
I mean,
what exactly was that employer agreement? Like, what was that situation? That, for example, because like people, and I was telling the guys this when we were at the Starcast lobby, it's like people are always like, well, who put Punk in charge of Collision and whatnot? Well, if he had an employer agreement and he was some form of management, that's what made him feel so he could say whatever he wanted to say to Jack Perry or to whoever, ban whoever he wanted from the building, like whatever that situation was, whether it was Daniels, Nemeth, Hangman, all that kind of shit. It's because he had some kind of a second contract that made him some kind of a manager. So it's like, so when you start diving into that a little bit, it's like, well, that kind of explains a little bit more about why.
I mean,
I've had to conduct investigations into shit. We just had a fucking guy with, regardless of what the situations were, I've had to conduct various investigations and make recommendations on firing, suspensions, all kinds of stuff. So it's just like knowing some of those details and what my perspective on it is just this whole thing is just, a part of me can be like, why wouldn't you just wait till Monday? But I can kind of get it.
Yeah, it's fucking
I still agree with Romeo on this. I think it was something you had to do now because regardless of the fans fucking well, they're already there. They're gonna do whatever they want at the end of the day.
I'm about to
they
say.
already got a fucking.
They're gonna do whatever they want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not really gonna matter if they hijack it or not to me because it's a mute point at this point because it's like they're gonna do whatever they want. Like they're gonna do whatever they want.
The crowd. You want to go out there and be big fucking babies tonight and tomorrow. Go be big fucking babies. It'll say a lot about you. It'll say a lot about Chicago.
Guess
Go
what?
ahead.
That's
Go
like
ahead.
what the fuck I'm gonna do.
I mean, Chicago's always been like that.
You want to disrespect the talent out there who you supposedly love. This is AEW's home base. They love this talent. You want to disrespect them?
Go ahead.
Coming from
This guy.
This coming from the guy.
Go ahead.
It's coming from the guy who's wearing the CM Punk shirt, not to be a troll. Okay.
I'm saying.
Also,
biggest supporter right now.
This is also the guy who left WrestleMania because Roman and Brock were main eventing. Get the fuck out of here, Romeo. I don't want to hear.
I didn't stay in hijack. I left.
But he left.
You left like a baby. You left like a baby. Yo, I don't want to see this.
I wanted to get the bourbon too early, man. I already knew the outcome of the match.
Actually, no. He was actually pretty happy when he left. I don't know. I didn't hear him crying. There's actually video proof. There's actually video proof.
Somebody else was crying.
I don't want to watch this match. I'm gonna leave.
No, I mean, no. There's somebody else who cried because he stood behind and he watched his favorite wrestler, the big dog, lose.
I know somebody. I know somebody. Yeah, I know somebody who cried that weekend. Not just because of Roman, but anyway. It's not gonna.
That's the same guy.
I know it is.
He took like 3 L's that whole weekend. That's really bad.
It was just crying. It was crying all weekend.
What's up, Chase? Anything you want to say, Chase? Your media
Man,
reaction.
I gotta say, I gotta applaud Anthony Khan on this one. I can't believe he did it. He took a risk. It didn't pay off. Actually, it did pay off. He got merchandise sales from CM Punk. I mean, the whole CM Punk thing. I'm just curious. I want to hear from you guys on a scale of 1 to 10. Was the CM Punk run successful? Like 1 being it was very unsuccessful, 2 it was successful, 10 it was successful.
A little bit. You know what's funny? I would say his run was successful. I would say his run was successful until he got the title. The irony. I
think that's when he was happy because remember he did an interview. I don't know if he did an interview where he said something. He was like, "Oh, I don't want the title. I just want to go out there. I just want to put over." And then Tony Khan, Tony Khan did the right thing as a businessman. Like, hey, I have CM Punk. He's one of the biggest names in this sport. You got to put the belt on him. You can't just not. But hey, you know what? Edge, Adam Copeland. Whatever you're doing in your house in Nashville or wherever the fuck it is, walk down your driveway right now. I know it's like 20 feet long. Walk down that driveway, open up your mailbox. You probably have a nice bigger contract from AEW to wrestle on Saturday night, brother. You got this,
No,
Mercedes.
we're here Metalingus in like the next couple weeks. I'm sure now.
Oh, you're
Cons on
gonna
the
hear
phone like
Metalingus.
we got
JJ, you might hear Metalingus
we got
Sunday.
extra.
You might hear it
Exactly.
Sunday.
We got extra money. We got extra contract money. We got extra contract money right now. So we're definitely gonna Adam, bring your ass on down to All Elite Chicago or All Elite, please. Grand Slam. There we go.
Yeah,
I don't.
Grand
They
Slam.
might need that
Wow,
money for
Canada.
lawyers' fees when CM Punk.
Well, he's not gonna. Well, Edge is not gonna be at Grand Slam because his contract
He said lawyer
ends
fees.
end of September.
Oh, gotcha. But I was
CM
gonna
Punk is
say
gonna
this.
sue the shit
Yeah.
out of him. He's gonna.
I was gonna say this real quick, and then I'll head out. I'm gonna say this: like, I'm happy that CM Punk did come back, did not come back whatsoever, because I don't care what anyone says. Him debuting on that Rampage is still an all-time wrestling moment, man. Like, we never thought this guy was gonna come back.
Of course.
It was something that I didn't expect that we were going to get back. And, to be honest, like, Punk wasn't that bad. I just think it's like, CM Punk, and I tell people this all the time, you got to look at the locker rooms he was coming from. He was coming from WWE, and then you got to also figure, before WWE, he was going from UFC. UFC literally has fighters that want to kill each other, fucking kill each other. Conor McGregor and Habib are able to be in the same fucking building because UFC has such a great locker room of security and stuff. So for CM Punk, he's used to these certain structures. You go to AEW, it's like a wild, wild west. Like, these guys, they're not used to a certain structure. And look at the people who don't do well in AEW right off the rip. Are the ex-WWE guys that are so used to, like, wait, so you're saying I don't talk to an agent first before my match? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean I don't talk to talent relations about this and stuff? Like, it's just like, oh, you just go to Tony Khan or something. So, but yeah, I'm happy CM Punk did what he did. I'm not did what he did, but I'm happy CM Punk did come to AEW. I don't think his run was a failure whatsoever. I think Tony Khan, he pulled the right move. He had to. There was nothing you could do.
For me,
you have to.
I'm blurring the lines between gimmick and reality right now. I'm drunk, but I'm supposed to be a sober guy. So I'm just JJ. Okay. Oh, sorry, we're on the stream. My bad, guys.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. But yeah, no. Like I said, shout out to Tony Khan. He did the right thing. Hey, shout out to Phil. He's the gift that keeps on giving, bro. Shout out to CM Punk.
Tony
Without
Khan put his
CM
dick on
Punk,
the table.
we in the mud. So I appreciate you, CM Punk. I appreciate you. Forever the forever real champion.
Well, now we don't got to worry about that real world championship. That could just
No,
float off into
Romeo.
the distant
It is
memories.
forever
Word,
the
that
real
shit-
world champion, CM Punk.
That shit is a vacant world championship now.
Wait, hey, Shop
Vacant
AEW. Do you think his stuff is still up? Do you think his stuff is still up on Shop AEW?
Probably.
I'm gonna
Let me
check
look
because
and see.
I want to gladly grab at least one last T-shirt before shit gets
That's what I'm
thrown into the
saying.
river or get fed to the Africans. So hopefully
You
it's
guys have
still
a
there by Monday.
good rest of your day. I'm still driving. You know what? And by the way, this is to all you people who ever want to install solar. Don't fucking install solar in dirt. It doesn't fucking work when it rains. It's fucking stupid. Get a roof. It's not that hard. All right. Fuck you. And by the way, fuck you, Verizon. You're the worst client ever.
All right.
Yeah, Verizon sucks. Fuck Verizon.
Yeah, fuck
Piece of
Verizon.
shit.
All right, guys. All right.
Yeah,
Well, we
fuck
just
you,
lost
Verizon.
Verizon as a sponsor.
Yeah, his stuff
Yeah,
is still up there.
Suck a dick,
His stuff is still
Verizon.
up on there.
It is
Limit-
cool. I got 2 days.
Let me read some
Five
super
right now.
chats from the chat. DJ Eric, thank you for being a member for 2 months. And DJ Eric,
This guy.
thank you for $2 in memory of CM Punk's AEW career. Here it lies.
That's Jaquan's favorite, DJ Eric.
And $5 super chat.
Okay.
Tony Khan didn't screw CM Punk. CM
Are we
Punk
coming in? They're going in right now?
screwed
All right,
CM
how you
Punk.
doing? Hola.
Let me mute these
I
guys
know,
with their
I'm-
background conversations.
Yeah, and it's kind of it's very distracting.
Will Chisholm, thank you for the $5 also. True Heel Brothers. It's going to be crazy to see Cody versus Punk at the Royal Rumble.
Yo, he just gave us the finger. We're just being
Oh,
honest. There was too much noise back there.
Running a live stream, pal. It's all right. It's all right. I got you. I muted it.
Yo, his phone.
Thank you, guys.
What kind of phone is he using? He using a Razor or something? 'Cause
Leave,
that
leave.
quality is terrible.
Let me read some more comments from the chat. Can't read everything, but super chats, I'll definitely read those. I'll definitely read from some members. Leave the memories alone. Well, here we are. Roman. Why did he get fired? You seen the news lately? Caused a lot
What the
of
guy's been at? What the guy's been at? What the fuck? Nah,
happy
yeah.
dance. Finally, well, a lot of people are happy. Frantic world. How you get fired on your day off? Actually, it's not his day off. He would have been working today. This is his work day. Collision. They suspended.
I mean, I you know what I'm gonna wait for? I'm gonna wait for these same fans who are happy. I'm gonna wait for like another like 2 or 3 months to see how they feel about if the product's gotten better or if it's gotten more kind of down. I want to see how they react.
Well, what are they gonna miss?
I don't want to hear
drama?
no. I mean, as in like I don't want to hear. Oh, I want CM Punk back. Oh, we really miss him. I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Listen, Punk's great
You know
when he's
it's
not
gonna
causing
happen.
drama backstage.
No,
he's
I'm
great.
saying, no, I'm saying, like I know it's gonna happen, but it's just the fact that for months, of course, because of everything that's been going on, everybody obviously wanted him gone. Now they're getting what they want. I just don't want to hear, oh, we want him back. That's just where it comes down to.
Josh, I think the locker room is so happy right now. So happy. The only guys
No,
upset
I mean, I
about
agree.
it are probably
No, I'm saying,
FTR, maybe Miro, maybe a few, and they're probably on Collision. The ones that are unhappy.
no, I mean, no, I'm saying, like I agree with what you're saying. I actually didn't disagree with anything you said, even with the whole, oh, I think it was a bad idea to fire him now. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Like I said before, if the fans are gonna do what they want. Oh well, they hijacked the show. It's just gonna make the city look bad. It's just gonna make that crowd look bad. It's not gonna make AW look bad. It's gonna make the crowd look bad.
Yeah,
so no matter what, no matter what, it's like the fans could do whatever they want. And if they want to support their boy, fine. What I think what people need to understand is this is the circumstances that at this point Tony Khan had no choice, in my opinion, because even if Punk was to come back, guess what? That makes Tony Khan look bad, no matter what. And it's not so much like, oh, he's taking the heat for it, obviously, because he was like that. It was his decision. It was his decision alone, which I think is a great move on his end that he's doing that. At the end of the day, he has a business to run, and as we've seen before, nobody's bigger than the business. Not even Hulk Hogan. He wasn't bigger than the business. Nobody's bigger than the business. And it just got to a point that he needed to show some backbone. And I think this is the best way to do it. Not only to make it clear, like, yeah, he's terminated, but to do it before your big pay-per-view in the town that he's from. I think this is the best way you could do it because it's showing some backbone. But this is what people were waiting for from TK, to show something, not to let this guy keep, throwing his weight around. Collision was basically made because of Punk, and he was he was calling the shots,
Wow.
and this was because of TK. Let's call it like it is. It was because of him, and again, he got his second chance and he blew it because regardless of the situation, like when I saw earlier on the podcast, right? Yeah, you could blame multiple people for things. At the end of the day, your reputation, precedes you. And Punk doesn't have the best reputation no matter what. Because even I've said it. Even I've said, like, yeah, there's a lot of times where I understand where he comes from, but it's how you precede yourself. It's how you present yourself until those issues that you have. And he's never, at least with AEW, he's never made himself look good when it comes to problems that he's had. So it's like no matter what he did, nobody was really going to side with him. I don't think things weren't getting better because it was always a constant of every time something came up, guess what? It was being reported. Now you could blame reporters for that. You could say, oh yeah, some reporters had a hidden agenda, which I do think that's partly true. But at the end of the day, they're doing their jobs. So no matter what, we could disagree with it, but they're doing their job, reporting on whatever is coming about. It's just a matter of this guy just didn't know how to handle himself, and this situation with Jack Perry. Yeah, we could say, yeah, Jack started it because of what he did on camera. At the same time, it's more of an unwritten rule that he did. It wasn't like a real legit thing that he did that broke a actual rule that would get him in trouble. It was just something that he did that was more stupid than anything. And then he did it with the wrong person because the wrong that person reacts to things like this. And that's what happened with CM Punk. This shit happened last year. He got into a fight with a bunch of fucking guys, and a year later, it's the same thing. He's getting to an altercation for the same issue. So to
Deja
me,
vu.
yeah, exactly. Like to me, this was the decision that TK needed to make because it's like if this happened a third time, at that point, it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Would you really want that a third time for that to happen? No. So, kudos to TK for making this move. I still think it's a good move to make this announcement now. I'm not, like I said, if you make it a day after, what is that really going to do? Right? Chicago crowd's going to do whatever they want. So no matter what, it's going to make them look bad. If they do that, if they want to they want to hijack a show, go ahead. It's just going to make them look bad. That's how I see it right now.
Mike, I'm going to ask you the golden question that a lot of people are going to just come up with.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Gonna go to WWE.
Yes. Possibly. And we know Phil is a petty man.
Oh, you know who else is petty? Yeah, you know who else is petty? WWE.
Oh yeah.
WWE.
Yeah, a wise man told me I'd rather deal with the devil I know than the devil that I want to know about. So he might go back to the Fed. Maybe if he doesn't have a clause in his contract to compete.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure it's for a certain amount of time. So if it were to happen, it would not probably be for a long time. Very long time.
Right. Because with Regal, what was it, a year?
Yeah.
A year to be on any TV for anybody. So we're waiting on that year for him. If the clause to compete is for a year, if you get terminated, then that stinks for a lot of people's thoughts of him showing up to Survivor Series because it's in Chicago.
Yeah, that's.
But eventually, when that clause is up, that's when talks again is going to ramp up, and then you can probably figure it out. I think he needs time off personally to clear his mind and everything.
Do some drugs, do some alcohol, do all that.
Hey, he's straight edge. He don't know nothing about that.
Oh, right.
He don't know nothing about that. So
it would help.
Honestly, yeah, he need to take a couple puffs or something to calm down. take some aspirin or something, some Vicodin, something. But eventually, those talks will ramp up, and he'll probably go back. I can see it happening. I'm the never say never type of guy. So
I don't see it happening,
Josh.
I don't see it happening because he's already a hazard at this point. But also I think there's a number of factors that come into it. Besides, like if we're looking at the technical aspect of things, with everything that's going on with the merger that's coming up, I don't see them even offering him a lot of money. And if he's not,
like you said, this might not be able to happen for a while, anyways.
No, I'm saying, but even so, like even when he's available, I don't think they're really gonna push that envelope to really offer him anything. That's just my take when it comes to that. But also the reason why, this is just my personal take on it. They had, after he left, WWE had a whole 7 years that they could have got him back, and they didn't. So I don't think this makes any difference for him to come back. But I know, like again, with WWE's locker room morale, with things kind of getting better because what's going on with Trips, him running the ship. When it comes to that, do you really want to put Punk in that situation? Probably not. But that's just my take on the business aspect. I do get it. Why would why would they bring him back? I totally get that. I don't know. I really don't see it happening.
I
Well,
I understand what Josh is saying. I completely get it.
mhm.
But I do think there is a side of WWE that, like I said, is
They're
very
petty.
petty.
Yeah, I
Very,
know. Like,
and they
yeah,
would
which is a fair
love.
point.
Oh my god, they do a 180 on CM Punk so fast. If CM Punk could get in a few shots on the mic, subtle, low key, at AEW, in a way where he doesn't get sued or fined or anything like that or suspended, something like that. And they'd fall in love with CM Punk all over again. Why is he coming out hanging out backstage? It's almost like he knew the writing was on the wall. Why is he in the arena hanging out with the Miz and Triple H? Until Vince had to call him, get that guy out of here. He's AEW. What are we doing? Why is he back there? Why is he hanging out? Did he see the writing on the wall? Is there a part of him that does want to come back? I think
Yeah.
I think they would at least be open to it. Would it happen? I can't 100% say with definity, but I think there's at least a chance. And I don't think it happened. I don't think it interfered with the Endeavor deal because I think it wouldn't. I don't think he's hireable for a while anyway. I'm sure there's something in that contract, in that termination, that says
No,
X amount of days.
yeah. No. When it comes to Endeavor, it was more the offer, like the actual offer they would make him.
Yeah,
that was more what I was saying when it comes to that. Just because we've seen them let go big names, even from the UFC. We've seen them let go big names from the UFC. So it was one
but
of those
also,
things. Yeah.
Also, like you do have to factor in that WWE has some names on their roster that
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
are very, very close with the elite.
Yeah.
So Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, just to name a few. Would they be open to seeing a CM Punk in their locker room once again? Who knows? I don't know.
Well, Cody, yeah, because he's been in the locker room with him previously before he was a big star.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then also there's more the fact of how Cody feels about all of this going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he knows something that we don't even know.
Yeah, so like I know he spoke about it briefly, but definitely somebody like that will have more pull. Like if there was to say, "Hey, we're thinking about bringing him back. What do you feel?" I think they would take his word more seriously, more than anybody. Just because, again, he was with the company, he was with AEW, and he had a big position with AEW. So I think they would take his word more seriously when it comes to things like that. When it comes to Punk possibly going back to WWE, I'm not saying it's not going to be never. I just don't see them doing it, even like when he's available or whatever the clauses are within that deal. I just don't see them doing it because probably at that moment or at that time when it happens, they will probably also feel like, hey, we don't need CM Punk, because that could be part of it too. Like whatever their situation will be at that time, I don't think it will be something like, oh yeah, we need him. So I don't think they will bother to even make him an offer.
I agree with that too. I agree because it all depends on situations. Say it's a year. Bloodline story will probably be over. Judgment Day stuff will probably be dwindling or ramping up halfway through their thing, maybe if they last that long in storyline. They might need something by that time. Maybe they probably need something. Maybe they'll reach out or maybe they won't reach out. It all depends on where they are storyline and TV wise.
They can't hire the elite anyways for like 4 years, and they signed 4-year contracts. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I won't shut the door on it completely, but I get both sides of the argument, why they would and why they wouldn't. There's an argument to be made for both ways. But
yeah. But I think it's fair. I think it's a fair take because I wouldn't say never, because we've seen worse guys come back to WWE. We've seen worse guys
Yeah.
because
Vince
because
McMahon
what it
has
is with
openly
Punk,
said, "I'm ready to inject the poison into WWE." Like that was a shoot
yeah,
when he said,
yeah,
he
you
brought that
know,
NWO. That
and
was a shoot.
yeah, and it's like, you know, again, when it comes to the whole wrestling industry, we're talking about the history of like the wrestling business. It's like CM Punk the worst guy out of it, no, but I get it within the times that we're living in. You know, everybody is constantly everything's being reported. Obviously, you know, he's considered toxic at the moment. Imagine back then in the 90s, imagine if all this shit, like the dirt sheets, imagine that was a big thing back then. All the stories we would have heard about Hogan back then. We would have everyone would have a different perspective of Hulk Hogan in the 90s than what we do now. So it's like, you know, that's part of it too. But, you know, again, it's just the times that we're living in. And, you know, fortunately for him, you know, everything he was doing, especially the last year because of the brawl out, everything he was doing that was negative, it was being reported. And again, I do think there were some reporters who had like some kind of agenda when it came to that. At the same time, they were doing their job. So it's like one way I can't really be mad about it because it's like, you know,
Yeah.
you're a reporter, you're gonna do right. You know, you have a brand, so you had to report on what's giving the biggest buzz, right? So that's what they were doing. And unfortunately, you know, when it came to All In, that's what happened. Sean Ross Sapp got the news and he reported it. Like, hey, there was an altercation. Guess what? That's what we were dealing with this whole entire week. Instead of talking about the show itself, which was a great show, instead we had this to deal with.
Could you see a universe where, man, he ever comes back to AEW? Or is it
If
just
they
really-
if
That's a
they're
good
here,
question.
if they're here,
That's a good question.
if who's
Because
here? What do you mean, Mike?
if the company's still there, yeah.
Oh,
well, I mean, yeah, the company's still going to be there because there's so much. They have so much financial backing that they're still going to be there. When it comes to Punk coming back with I don't know. Maybe this is something that they needed to. Maybe this is something they need to do. Stay away from him for a long time, and if they decide to come back, the problem with that though is not so much with the company. It's Punk himself. He has to really fix on himself on a personal level. We're not talking about wrestling. We're not talking about the business. We're talking about him as a person. He really has to fix
he's going to
certain
church.
things about himself. Nah, that shit not gonna work. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But
Work for
there's
Sean.
just things. Yeah, there's just things he really has to like. You know, he has to fix himself as a person just to move forward. Like, stop holding on to shit. You know,
Yeah.
stop holding on to certain things because I really don't think there's a lot of things that are that deep. The whole thing with Adam Page, I get where he's coming from. At the same time, I don't think it's warrant the response that he's been giving. Like even that thing at North Carolina, I don't think all that shit was necessary. You know, just certain things he just has to let go. You know, he just has to let it go. And that's just where it comes from. Like once you start learning, man, believe me, I know this firsthand. Once you start leaving, you know, that baggage you have, like whatever anger you have, once you let it go, guess what? It's easier to move forward. It's easier for your mental health. It's easier for a lot of things. And that's what he needs to do as a person.
We will wrap it up here. Join us later tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, for our WWE Payback watch party. And you know, we'll have to keep a close eye on Collision going on at the same time too, because you know, just to see what's going on with that crowd and how they're taking this news.
They gave me a reason to
Well, I
tune
mean,
into Collision.
oh no, oh wait, I was seeing a comment, a thing from Roxy. He's done with he's 44 now. I mean, 44 this time in wrestling is really nothing. The age thing is not really a factor. It's not really a real factor. And I'm not saying he has to stay away for years, but there's a pretty significant time he needs to stay away from the business, I think, if he wants to come back.
And the way CM Punk wrestles, he can wrestle like this another
Yes.
7 years.
Correct.
Especially if
He's
he's taking
good.
John
Correct.
Cena and Hulk Hogan's moveset. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be fine.
Yeah, because even so, when Punk came back, his more thing is like it's more storytelling than anything. So he could still do it. He's clearly shown that. But I don't think the age thing is a factor because we've seen it with WWE. A lot of their guys are already past their 40s and they're still top stars. So I don't think that's really a big thing.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Josh. Thank you to the fellas in Chicago. This has been a special impromptu Romeo report. CM Punk fired. Thumbs up this video if you haven't already, and join us at 8 p.m.
Bro, look at that fucking picture on the corner.
We will see you.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.